Let's talk about one of the special operator in JavaScript called delete. So using delete, we can delete an object property, we can delete an array element, we can also delete the global variable and few more options. Let's see how exactly it can be used and what are the places where we should not use it. It's a very rarely used option, but it is better to understand how it works. Let's try to understand with a small example. I'll try with an array. So I'm having an array here. Let me just console it first. Yeah, looks good. Yes, we are having an array with three elements in it. Now, what I'll do, I'll try to perform a delete operation. So we can use a delete operator and then we can specify at what position of array index we want to perform the deletion. So I want to perform at this position, for example. So it is going to delete 102. Let's console our array again after the deletion operation. So this is how it is deleting the 102 element, but surprisingly, if you see, it is not moving the 103 on the left hand side, it is keeping this place as it is as an empty slot, which can create a trouble when you deal with the length and everything. Because if I just try to check the length of this array, it will still say us the 3, which is not true in this case. So of course, we should not use a delete operator with arrays if it is not necessary to maintain the length of the array, because it will keep unwanted empty slots like this. Again, you need to perform one more mapping or maybe the filter on your array to remove these empty slots. Okay. After that, this delete variable, this delete operator will also return you the true and false to indicate the successful or the failed operation. So let me console here. So it will say true because it is deleting it. But if I do it, for example, 99 here, what will happen? That's the question. So there is no index in our array available with the 99. So what will happen in this case? First of all, there is nothing delete operation will be performed. But what will result of true and false out of this particular operator? That is also important to see here. So if I just see the outcome, first of all, there is nothing getting deleted in my array. And secondly, if I see it is returning me true, it means that the result is also successful, the operation. So this is the JavaScript behavior that it won't bother about your array limits, where it is starting, where it is ending. And that's the reason, surprisingly, it is saying is true. That's a very rare to rare option, which is incorrect in our case now. So you can completely ignore why the index which is not available, that we are not even sure it's getting deleted or not, the delete operator is returning true for that. Next, we'll try to understand how exactly delete operator works for properties. So I'm creating an object here which is holding two properties in it. Let's log it first and confirm everything is good. Yes, perfect. Now what I will do, I'll say, and I'm using the console here again because the delete operator will return true and false. We also want to deal with that true and false. So delete, I want to say object.id. So I want to specifically delete this property from my object. And after that, again, console the object. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is getting true and it is also returning us the updated object in which the ID property got deleted successfully. So this is one of the useful option we can say. Sometimes you may need to delete a specific properties inside your object, so you can do that. Of course, you need to do it one by one. There is no option to do it multiple at a time. That's perfect. Let's try to write here ID v2 here. What will happen in this case? I'll just take a pause here so that you can think if I'm specifying the property which is not available for the delete operator, what will happen? Yes. So here, again, it will give you true. And again, the weird behavior of the JavaScript will comes into picture. JavaScript won't bother much about which things are available, which things are not available, because we are not in the strict mode. These capabilities are added in the next generation JavaScript. And if you want to see that, if I just use here the use strict option, we need to change its behavior by using the object dot define property. And here, for which object we want to do, for which particular property we want to do, and what properties we want to change. So we want to make it the configurable part equals to false, because this configurable decides the property can be configured, it can be deleted or not. So we are making this configurable equal to false. And now if I rerun the same code, we should get something here true. It should be false here. Let me confirm. Let me delete ID here. Yes. So now if you see here, we are getting here cannot delete the property ID of from object because we are in the strict mode, because this ID is now not a configurable one. If I just remove this part, or maybe I just remove this particular use strict, so you'll not see any error when but in the next generation JavaScript, these capabilities are added. So if you're trying to delete some property which is configurable as false, then it will throw you some error so that you will get to know what exactly you're missing. So this is how you can restrict a particular object property being deleted using a delete operator. Let's try to understand how the delete works with functions. So if I'm creating a function here, for example, a test function, which is not accepting any parameters here, just a dummy function I'm creating. Let me just call the function to verify it. Yes, it's working. Now, what I'll do, I'll say delete the test function. What will happen? And let me also console log the result of it. So it is saying as false here, very first thing. So what we understood, the delete operator doesn't make any changes to the function. A function cannot be deleted by using a delete operator. Let's try to call our function to confirm the same. Yes, we are able to call the function. So even after this deletion, which is being failed, we are able to call our function. It means we have confirmed our function is not getting affected with the delete operator. Let's try to understand the delete operator with the variables. So if I'm creating a variable called n1 equals to 10, then I'll create one more variable called var n2 equals to 20, and I'll again create one more n3 equals to 30. Now I'll say delete n1, n2, and n3. And if I see the results now, the very first two one, the n1 and the n2 are saying false for the delete operation. So the delete is not happening for the n1 and n2. So what we understood, the local variable declaration cannot be deleted by using a delete operator because these are the local one. It is not being enclosed by any object. We can delete the variables or the properties which are inside an object. Those only can be deleted by using a delete operator. Then, but how for this particular n3 variable, it is deleting perfectly. This is not inside an object, but if you see here, it is deleting it and saying true. For our more confirmation, what I will do, I will also console all of these three variables to confirm the same. So I'm able to get the n1, n2, but for the n3, I am getting it is not defined. So n3 got deleted permanently from memory due to this delete operator. But how? So When we are declaring any variable directly without using let or var or constant, by default, this variable will become part of your global object. Global object means your window object. So to prove that this particular n3 variable, I can even access with this keyword. So what is the this keyword? This keyword indicates the current object scope. So right now we are in a global scope. So this is indicating your global scope, and I'm saying inside this particular object, I want to access N3. Now you should see it is getting undefined. Let me just remove this because I want to access it. I don't want to delete it as of now. I'm able to access that. Very correct. And the same, let me also try, can I get with the window? Because the global object is a window object, right? So we should able to see that here as well. Very perfect. We are able to see that. And this is the reason the N3 is getting deleted, because N3 is not a normal variable. It's a property of a window object or a global object that we can access by using a this keyword as well. So this is how the delete operator works, and we have seen where we should use, where we should not use the delete operator, where it will create empty holes in a strict mode, how exactly the delete operator works. And we have also seen how the delete operator works for the normal variables or the global variables.